What's going on, everybody? Angel Lotta, aka Whole Lotta Cuts, and I'm over here with.
This is Joey, or you guys can also know me by my Instagram, Joey the Barber.
All right, so today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. We're gonna be doing a little bit of an interview with Joey here, and the whole concept of this is we're gonna start a new series. This series is gonna be called Beyond the Blade. And the reason why we're calling it Beyond the Blade is to show that barbers are more than just barbers. We're people too. We're going to show a little bit of love to barbers from all around LA, from LA to Pasadena to hopefully Anaheim. We're going to try to get everywhere around here. And this is going to be the first episode today. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So, Joey, starting off, what shop are you at? What have you been doing recently? And what is it that's getting you going right now?
So actually, I own my own barbershop. It's called the Faylab Barbershop. You guys can search it up on Google. We're right here, located in the city of Bell. For anyone that's familiar with the area, is right off the intersections of Florence and Atlantic. We'll put it right there in the description and all that. But yeah, the Faylab Barbershop. I just opened it about a couple months ago. Last at the end of 2025. And everything's been going good, brother. 2026 just started. I'm teaching at Michael Vincent Academy. Is a barber beauty like film production school out there in North Hollywood. So I'll be doing that. I have just opened up my own shop where we're building it right now, and we're actually in the barber shop right now. So yeah, it's been going very good. God's been blessing me, and just very very grateful for everything that's going on in my life right now.
That's awesome, man. Thank you so much for going ahead and saying that. We're gonna plug the barbershop right here. We're gonna plug Michael Vincent too. I've been attending some of your classes, trying to get a feel for the teaching aspect of barbering too. So starting off with question one, something simple. How long have you been doing this for, bro?
So I actually started during COVID time, 2020. So about five to 6 years. But during that time, like I would say like I was a sponge. Was mentored by one of my boys. It's called Global Cuts. He's cuts out of Linwood. Global Cuts Barbershop. So he actually was my barber before. And when I got into the industry, he was the one that kind of brought me up, put me under his wing, taught me very much taught me everything as far as the skill wise and in this industry. And that's how I started. That's how I started cutting hair. Because I would go to his shop and I would just hang around. And as I was cutting, and I was seeing him cut hair, I see that he was booked. Like he was doing like 15, 16, 17 cuts a day. And I'm doing the math in my head. And after every client, I'm like, man, like I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, that's the type of income I want to be making
That's a lot
today.
of money right
Yeah,
there.
that's a
That's
lot of
right.
money. Yeah, and that's kind of how I got introduced into the game. And I told him, I was like, bro, like, what do I need to do to get inside barbering? So he told me the first thing you need to do is go get your license. So I signed up for Eminence Barber Academy out there in Riverside. Shout out to Fern. So that's where I first started cutting hair around 2020. And during that time, it was crazy because we had COVID and we were just coming off of COVID. So there was actually a wait period when I signed up. There was a wait period because of COVID, and it took a couple months. People were wearing masks. Like I started school, and then there was a pause. Now when we came back, everyone was wearing masks, and it was a very crazy time because I feel that's when the barber industry really exploded outside the traditional way of doing things.
Yeah.
People started cutting out their garage, people started cutting off of suites. House calls were a thing, so I was seeing all that. I was like, I need to jump in on this wave and just get my skills up and just learn from the best in the industry, and that's what I was doing. When I got started cutting hair.
Awesome. That's dope, bro. So with that being said, bro, like during the whole COVID time and everything, it was a big scare for a lot of barbers. I
Yeah.
didn't get starting until after that.
Hmm.
So knowing that you were a student of the game, and of course we're both students of the game still, we're never stop learning, right?
Yeah.
But with it being during COVID and you're trying to process information and everything as like a student, do you feel like maybe cleanliness as a barber became better, worse? How do you feel like it became as like barbershops all around because of COVID?
During COVID, I would say people did become more clean. But I would say back from the old school to now, I do feel like in this industry, a lot of people started cutting without a license,
Mm-hmm.
and you do when you get people like that, they don't really know what they're doing. They're not educated. Not if you're unlicensed, you're cutting out of your garage. We're not shaming you. It's just more of like there's a lot of little stuff that you get taught in barber school as far as the sanitation, disinfecting your tools, and not just not just wiping it down and blowing out the hair. Like no,
Yeah,
there's a further process. You got to clean your blades. You got to clean. I always tell all my students that your sanitation is part of it has to be top tier in order for you to charge more. In order for you to be considered a professional, you got to be very clean. And
exactly.
after COVID, I mean, the cleanliness was incorporated in state board and all the barber schools. Like that's one of the biggest things now in the state test because I was also a, a teacher for M&S Barber Care. The school that I went to, I was actually a teacher for about a year. I just finished off teaching there when I opened up my barbershop. But when I was teaching my students over there, a lot of things that we went through was sanitation, cleanliness, and that's majority of what's on state board now.
Yeah,
So cleanliness is very big in the industry. You have to be a clean barber. You don't want to be known the reputation of being a dirty barber.
yeah. You don't want to be going around giving people no ringworm, nothing like
Yeah.
that. So again, to all those barbers that are out there, it's no shame for the ones that are doing it out of their house, the high schoolers that are grinding it out. I mean, keep grinding, bro. Like, do it, but look into your cleanliness too. Obviously, right? Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to be known as that dirty barber, or when they leave your chair, they come back a few weeks later. Hey, bro, I have all these pimples on the back of my head. What is
Yeah.
this? Like, it's again, no shame to it, but just even if you decide not to get your license, I obviously vouch for getting it. I'm a student from Simply Divine. I highly recommend you get your license because it teaches you those things in a heavy way. But if you're not going to go get it, at least learn the cleanliness part of it, because you don't want to be known as that barber that's going around passing around dandruff, ringworm, stuff that is attractable from dirty clippers and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So going on into that, into cleanliness is a big part of your tools. What's your arsenal looking like right now? What's the tools that you're like, I need to have these in my arsenal every single time?
All right. So just because I would say every shop that I've been at when I started cutting hair, so I'm not really like that new modern barber.
Okay.
All the shops that I've been cutting at, from the first shop I was cutting with a old senora, like a lady.
Mm-hmm.
She's been in the game for over 15, 20 years, and she had two shops. From going to that shop, from the shop that I went at after I got licensed, my boy Global, every shop that I worked with everyone minimum 10 to 15 years in the game. So I was always the youngest person in the shop.
Heck yeah.
And so I got a lot of habits of old school barbers, all the OGs. Majority of my clipper setup, my arsenal is corded. So I'm a big advocate that if you master corded machines, you're like, that's how you really know you got a good barber. Because when I was in barber school, I was with friends with people that were like getting the latest Babyliss, getting the new JRLs, getting they had to have the latest tech, but then
Yeah.
their haircut skills don't match it.
Yep.
So I was brought up a different way. 'Cause I was around a lot of OGs, a lot of people that have been in the game for years, and they will break it down simple. It's, all you need is a corded wall magic, some T outliners, and a shaver, and you could bust out some crazy work. So when I started, that was majority of my setup. The first clipper that I practiced on was a corded senior,
Okay.
and then halfway into school, I got the corded masters. And that corded master, I mastered to the point where that was the only clipper I would use. I could do a whole fade without any guards. Like I mastered to that point because I was a student of the game. I wanted to get
Yeah.
good at mastering what the OGs were telling me. Now after that, when I started working at a shop and everything, now I started improving my speed. Obviously, I will get the latest. My setup is more wall. I'm a wall guy,
Okay.
so I like. I went from Andis Masters. I always keep an Andis Master. That's my favorite clipper. That's
Okay.
the one I learned on. That's the one I. So I have a corded master is a cordless actually. I have a cordless, the gold one. But majority of my setup is wall. My detailers are wall. I have like 5 magic clips. I have the Andis Supra. You gotta have a detachable blade whenever I need to do a quick cut, or just for speed when you get a lot of clients. But as far as that, my whole setup is wall. I'm a wall guy,
Okay.
and I
So
prefer like that's the best one for any beginners or
mm,
any. Wall is one of those clippers that's always gonna be consistent.
yeah.
Magic clip you can't go wrong with one. If you don't know how to master that, everyone's getting the sabers, everyone's getting JRLs, everyone wants the latest things. You don't really need to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a expensive setup. Magic clip costs like 80 to $100. If you master that, get some detailers. Like that's how you really know who's a good barber when they could do a dope haircut with just a regular
With the
clipper.
bare minimum,
Yeah.
basically. So, okay, piggybacking off of that, you saying that wall is your thing. One of my big things as trying to get into the barber game and everything, I keep seeing that there's all these barbers that I look up to that are either sponsored by a Clipper company or that they are ambassadors for them. If you had to have a Clipper company, would that Clipper company be Wall, that you would want them to reach out to you and send you stuff and everything like that?
Yeah, if it was a Clipper company, I would prefer Walk. You know, that's
Okay.
just the setup that I use. As far you know, to be honest, I'm not really picky.
Yeah.
I love my walls. But if there's a company out there and there's money involved, that hey, promote our product. Hey, I'll try out their Clipper. You know, like
Of
you know,
course, of course.
there's any Clipper I
Money
would try.
speaks. Money
Yeah,
speaks.
money talks, and that's something that people got to realize, that a lot of these influencers and barbers, because again, the guy I was mentored by, he was a sponsored barber, so he
Okay.
kind of broke it down to me, the how sponsorship works and everything. Basically, you're any ambassador. It's all a fancy title. At the end of the day, you're a sales rep.
Yeah.
You're not gonna make money unless you're doing showcasing, or unless you're traveling with the company, unless you're bringing any income towards that specific company, or you're selling the product. That's why they come out with discount codes and everything.
Yeah.
So if you're not moving product, and you don't have a high following, you're most likely they're not gonna put you on their team.
Okay.
You know, so that's why I said, like, be very cautious who information you're getting, because sponsorships, at the end of the day, I would say try out the Clippers yourself. If you like them, if you don't like them, get another one. You know, but at the end
Yeah.
of the day, for me personally, was always a reliable. You know, that's just my preference. You know.
All right, Wall. So you heard it. If you need to sponsor someone, sponsor Joey. We're
Yeah.
gonna try to get Joey sponsored by Wall as soon as possible. But yeah, bro. You know that's a big goal for a lot of barbers, is to
hmm
go ahead and get that sponsorship to open up their own shop. And you've done some of those things already. You've opened up your own shop. You're teaching
Yeah.
already. So for you, since you're kind of at this point that a lot of barbers want to reach to, what do some short term and long term goals look like for you now?
Short term, I will believe, is filling up my barbershop. So
Okay.
right now, I have two chairs right here. It's me and my business partner that I would partner up with, Victor. You guys will find him, the Element Barber. But we opened up the shop together. So our goal for the year is, get around 8 to 10 barbers. And we have a pretty decent sized shop that we could squeeze everyone here. It just very much get to work and, get it popping. Long term goal, I'll be real with you guys. Like, I've been cutting hair for 5 years. I put in my time. I put in my dues. I've used to work 7 days a week, from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. midnight. Like, I've done my time of putting in my reps. I've been blessed by God to do a lot of haircuts, be mentored by very strong barbers, and a lot of wisdom in that. So my long term goal is to get more into the investment side. I just opened up my business. So my goal is to fill up the chairs and eventually get into more investments, buy real estate, buy some houses, and move into that direction. And that's pretty much my long term goal. And to be able to say that I cut hair because I love it, I don't have to cut hair,
Exactly.
and it's more of just having the freedom to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, bro. That's dope. Again, that's having you around me and everything, like learning from you and everything. I've surrounded myself around different types of barbers, the quote unquote celebrity barbers, the ones that are making crazy bread just from staying in the shop from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and all that stuff. And I think a lot of it comes from different people like trying to put information into your head. And I think I'm gonna be 100% real with you guys. Joey was one of like the first barbers. I'm not going to say the only barber, because there's a lot of other barbers that are in my life that I've met that have been awesome to me, that have shown me a bunch of love. But Joey was one of the first barbers that kind of told me that it's okay to like stray away from the normal, to go ahead and be who you are and show customers that you're your own person and everything like that. He's been one of the ones that's been doing dope things, teaching me how to teach, going along to different high schools, showing kids that barbering is an option outside of school and everything like that. And that's dope that those are your goals, bro. And I really hope that that works out for you. And I hope like God blesses you in that way to go ahead and bring that forward. And it looks like it's been working so far.
Yeah.
And with that being said, with it being 5 years in the game, like, bro, that's 2 years more than me. I've been doing this for 3 years now. 2 years more than me. One of the things that I've noticed is that clients come and go, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one of the coolest things I feel like is when you have that person that was your first client and they come back to you still after all these years. For you, do you remember who your first client was? And if you do remember, Are they still a current client that's still coming back?
Yeah, so I would say 80% of my clientele are from the first barbershop I was at. So I've been to three barbershops since I got out of barber school. It was the first one, probably like 15 minutes from here in Imperial and like crossing Norwalk. 80% of my clientele came from that original first shop.
Okay.
So I've been, very early on in the game, I knew this concept. It's not about how many people you cut; it's about how many come back. You know,
Okay.
and a lot of people get it mistaken. Like they'll go into a shop, work for a shop owner, they'll work for the barbershop, they'll do a lot of cuts. Maybe it's a walk-in shop, maybe it's a commission shop,
Hmm.
and they're doing a lot of cuts, but they're not building clientele. That's one of the tricks. One of the tips that my boy Global taught me. He's like, "Hey, when you come in this industry, your goal is to get that shop clients to be your clients. Now, how do you do that? Well, it starts off relationship. It starts off with your skill set. It starts off with your customer service. Now, let's say you're coming out of barber school. You don't have that. You probably don't
Yeah.
have all the skill set. So where you got to make it up in? If you're a shy person, you got to learn how to start talking to people. You got to learn how to start being A1 on on your customer service. Now, what does that mean? It means be on time. It means doesn't show up drunk, don't show up high, because that's the industry that we're in. We're in barbers. A lot of things that gets
Yeah.
promoted now in social media that I'm not really a fond of. I'm not really, that's why I say I stay away from a lot of that because I don't drink, I don't smoke, and you know, I'm more in my church. I'm more, I'm a man of God. So something that I've noticed that from the industry when I started, I was the opposite. I would drink, I would smoke, and I noticed that the habits of doing that was taking clients away from me.
Yeah.
But getting clientele, you gotta be good at promoting,
Yeah.
and you gotta be good at retaining them. It's cool to cut, but if you're cutting under a barbershop name, be very cautious what shop you're gonna go to when it's your first shop. If it's a shop that's already known, yeah, it might seem cool. Like, hey, I'm gonna be part of this shop. It's dope. They're bumping, but if you're not gonna build clientele there, every client that's there is going for the owner and not for you. Then that's where you might get discouraged in the industry when you're 2 3 years in the game and you're at the same shop and you're deciding to move and you realize that, hey, all these clients, they're not gonna follow me.
Yeah.
So that's one of the keys that I would say that I've been blessed to know that that got to retain clients. So every shop that I was at, every client followed me. 80% of my clientele that I have at this shop now is from that first original shop. And the reason they follow me is because, one, I'm good at customer service. God blesses me to have that business mindset that I know I take care of my customers. And, like I said, skills. I'm a big advocate that you always got to be learning, improve your skills, and clients will, and just be real with your clients. Let them know you're just starting out. People will want to join you on your journey because you allow them to enter your life.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things where you start cutting hair. You got to be friends with your clients.
Yeah.
Your goal is not to just have clients. Your goal is to have friends.
Yeah.
That's when you start switching up the game.
Yeah, and I think for me too, at least from what I've learned, again from a few of my homies that are barbers, from Joey himself, is that a lot of these new barbers, they're not understanding the concept, and it's something that I had to learn the hard way. Your clients will become your homies before your homies become your clients.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I say that is because I got homies that would not let me touch their head at all when I first started, right?
Yeah.
But now that I'm back to the area that I grew up in and everything, I got better at what I do. I've been practicing as much as I can. And now that they see that I have a little bit of skill to me, they're like, hey, bro, I heard you cut hair. Awesome, bro. I love that they're coming to me now, but it's also one of those things. It's like, where were you at when I needed someone to practice on?
Yeah.
All that stuff. Again, it's no hate to them. I understand. People want to look good. They want to get that practice in and everything like that. They want to see someone that has their craft already, but
Yeah.
you can't expect barbers to have that craft instantly as soon as they come out of barber school or while they're in barber school. Some of them do. Some people really are just blessed with their hands, that with
Yeah.
the way that what they could do with the hair.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't necessarily one of those people. I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn with reps, all that stuff, and I think everyone does. But with that being said, everyone that wants to become your client because they really enjoy how you are. Another thing that these new barbers have to realize, some of these people, you could deliver a whack cut. I've seen it before. I've done it before where it wasn't my best work, where I was like, damn, like I could have done so much better on that cut. But that person straight up told me, hey bro, I didn't come back because the cut was great. I know you're gonna get better at it, but your vibe is just there.
Yep.
Your vibe is there. You're vibing with the people, you're talking to them, that you have good conversation. A lot of times people don't realize that either. As barbers, like, we're not just people that cut hair, we're people that are talking to you. We probably know more of your boyfriend's drama than what your girl does, honestly. Like, we know more of what's going on in their life than what a lot of people
Yeah.
realize. Is like, we're not just barbers, we're therapists. We're over here doctoring, telling people, hey, you have this condition in your scalp, all that stuff. So it's not just about cutting the hair, it's about building that relationship with your client. There's times where I actually have a client that's over here that hits me up to go kick it with him, just to go eat, to go do stuff like that. And that's the type of clientele that you want. The ones that are going to invite you to go out, the ones that be like, hey bro, I have my wedding coming up, I want you to cut my hair, but also I want you to come kick it with me too
Yeah.
at this wedding because you've grown to become my friend.
Mm.
So speaking of the whole like vibes thing and everything, bro, like, you want to have that vibe with your client. For you, as far as when it comes to like music in the shop, with the vibes being right and all that stuff, what's the vibe looking like when you're the one in control of music? Is it gonna be like, what is it that's gonna set the vibe right for you in the shop to keep you going?
So the way we have it at our shop, again, I always reiterate this, not to be religious, but I am a man of God now. When I first started in the game, on my last shop of Global Cuts, it was more in the, I would say in the hood, 'cause we used to cut out Linwood, Compton. It was more street, it was more urban. So yeah, we did play a lot of rap, a lot of like hood music. But I started to notice, bro, that when you play too much of those type of music, and a lot of shops do that. Hey, there's some hitters in the shop that want.
Yeah.
Some of the best people are in the hood.
Yeah.
I would say that, like, out of all LA, that's my personal opinion in LA. You want one of the dopest barber, you got to go to the hood. But again, you also have to know the vibe. A lot of them do play rap music, and sometimes that affects the business because um, some people have kids.
Yeah.
So if they're coming in and there's cuss words, there's talking about this and that and drugs and like those type of music. And I used to play it a lot, and I noticed that my clientele started dropping because the first shop I was at was more Spanish music, more just family oriented. Well, so when I switched over, I did notice that that type of music was not the vibe. So now when I opened my shop, I played more praise, more worship music, more music like Spanish,
Yeah.
and we just keep everything very light, family friendly, and I don't play any cussing words, and I'm very firm in that, and I have lost some clients because of that, because they want to come and they want to feel like it's a party, a bar vibe, and it's
Yeah.
like I tell them very straight up, and I'm not scared to lose those type of clients because I know God's changing and God worked in me, and I'm very firm on that, and I keep my business very professional, and I've noticed that that's the best way to have consistent business every week. The same people coming every week, the same people coming every 2 weeks. When you keep a family friendly environment, and, I'm Nicaraguan and Mexican, so I know I play all the Spanish salsa, cumbias, and we play praise worship music in here. I even pray with some of my barbers. I pray with my friends, like we keep it very friendly in here. Like there's a very God's presence very heavy in our shop, and that's one of the things that I feel that's why we're getting blessed. Why the shop is very firm. We just opened up, and we're already getting walk-ins. We're already getting like we're getting a lot of clients giving us good feedback
Yeah.
because we keep that family friendly vibe.
Yeah. So going, like, to piggyback off of that, this is to kind of reach out to the barbers too, that when you guys see this, obviously some of you guys aren't gonna agree with this concept of the whole praise, worship, stuff like that, and that's okay. Like, I'm not gonna tell you guys. Joey's never gonna tell you guys have to do it that way.
Yeah.
That's the way he runs his shop. That's the way it's working for him and everything. But I do agree with the concept of the no cussing, the no, hey, shaking butt here, shaking butt there. We go, awesome, bro. Like, if that's the music that you're into, that's the music that you're into. But the thing that I see that has worked, I just did a skit on it with one of my buddies where we
Mm.
did the whole, like, when a family of five walks in and then it's nothing but like freaky, crazy, like sexual music that's playing. A mom with her kids isn't gonna want to hear that. She's not gonna
Yeah.
want to hear the B word every 5 seconds of a song.
Hmm.
She's not gonna want to hear, oh, like, teaching my kids how to like shoot a gun, shoot this, like, oh, I'm gonna kill whoever is in my way. Moms don't want to hear that. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. There's moms that are okay with their kids listening to it, but it's also been where I have had clients come up and honestly tell me like, hey, do you guys mind turning the music down because of X, Y, and Z? Cool. If you guys like that music, there's instrumental versions of rap too. You know, you could put just the beat on. If
Yeah.
you're going for a certain vibe and everything like that in your shop, you don't have to have the cuss words in there. You could easily do it without it. There's clean versions of songs too, but a lot of barbers like, oh well, it's my shop, you know, like I want to do
Yeah.
it that way. And it's not to hate on the shop owners that allow it. It's cool, you know, like in the shop that I'm at currently, we're allowed to have whatever music that we have on. But we have all been really good too when we see older gentlemen walk in, when we see women walk in. We're a very respectful shop of like, oh dang, like let's change the music because these people have walked in and we don't want to be disrespectful to them.
Yeah.
So that's the thing a lot of barbers need to learn too. It's not about I want to listen to this music. It's about who's in your shop. You're not setting the vibe just for you. You're setting the vibe for your clientele, for people walking in, for other businesses that might
Hmm.
walk in and try to get in contact with you guys. It's something that you guys want to keep in mind too, because there's people coming into your shop and they're going to have that first impression of like, oh, all of their music is about drugs, sex, like all this other
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's okay to stray away from that. If you're gonna listen to it in your car, keep that at home, keep
Yeah.
it inside. Like it's like the way people say leave the drama at the door and everything too. Leave the
Yep.
cuss words and everything at the door. Be professional about it. You know, like and if your clientele's okay with it, awesome. That's cool. If they're okay with the music being cuss words and everything, dope. But if you're trying to do it in more professional aspect, from what I've seen that works, the least that you could do for your clientele is at least be respectful of the fact that there's a woman in the room, that there's children in the room. I don't
Yeah.
I don't think that a 8 9 year old needs to hear cuss words every 2 seconds in a song, every 5 seconds, and realistically they don't need to hear it at all.
Yeah.
That's grown folk talk, that's grown folk business. And even then there's, again, Joey being a man of God, someone that is religious in a way that he doesn't necessarily want to hear that either. You know,
Yeah.
if you're a customer coming in and you hear that, there's a chance that they might just walk out. And I'm
Mhm.
not going to say that they will walk out, because if they need a haircut, they need a
Yeah.
haircut. But you need to expect that feedback as barbers too. You guys need to expect, like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I shouldn't be playing all this crazy music.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, us as barbers too, we do, it's hard for us to necessarily change the music because we have so much on our plate. We're over here trying to do a million things at
Hmm.
once. People that don't know, barbers are hustlers, bro. There's times that we're missing out on lunch, that we're missing out on dinner, on going out to family parties because we're over here grinding, we're over here trying to do all that stuff. But
Hmm.
when you do have that time to yourself, Joey, when you do have that time to go grab a bite to eat, what is it in Bell that you're like, man, I need to have this for lunch. I need to have this for dinner when I get out. What's the spot to go to in Bell for you that you think is like, man, I'm gonna go eat this and I'm gonna feel so refreshed and I could go do 10 more haircuts if I have to after.
Yeah. Me, I like to work out, so I'll be honest with you, bro. I meal prep.
Okay.
So I meal prep my food. Again, I'm built more in the old school way. So a lot of old school barbers, they would tell you they don't really go out to eat. They bring food from home,
Yeah.
and you don't, if you're really a booked barber, you don't really have time to go out and eat. And
Mm-hmm.
and yes, people are gonna tell me, oh, you're BSing, like like, oh, you gotta. Yes, there's spots that I go eat. It's very just like what's around the area. In Bow, there's a Cuban spot
Okay.
right here in the bakery. I don't really know the name of it. I forgot it, but it's a Cuban spot. I always go get a Cuban sandwich right there. But most of the time, I'm meal prepping because when you're busy, you're on the go. You kind of just want to have your food there with you, and you always got to, that's just the way I was built. The people I was around, it's more like you don't leave the shop. Because the moment you leave the shop, that's when a potential walk-in comes in. That's when a new client could potentially come in, and those are just kind of some of the habits that I have. Again, because a lot of OGs instilled in me, you don't leave the shop. You got to treat it like a business. You got to treat it like work, and that's how you constantly have consistent business.
Yeah.
There's not. I don't really think there's a slow day. There's not. There's cuts every day. You just got to be present, and I feel like that. That's what I get out of it. Like, right, like I bring my food, meal prep. I like to work out. I like to keep healthy, and just very consistent, brother.
Yeah. So again, being consistent in your things, staying at the shop a little bit extra, doing all that stuff, that's that's that hustler mentality you have to be a successful barber. There's lots of
Mhm.
barbers that I know that were great at what they do, but they ended up stopping because, man, I'm spending too much money on food. I'm spending too much
Yep.
money on going out every night to go party after I'm done. Like, people that don't know the barber industry, that don't know the hair industry in general, not only can it be good money, but the part that a lot of people mess up on is the fact that it's quick money. It's very
Mm.
cash in hand. Like, hey, I could go do this house call and I just made $150. These new shoes just dropped and they're $150. Let me spend that
Yep.
one haircut on these new shoes,
Yep.
And that's not to hate on it. Like, I love shoes. If I was making crazy amounts of money, I'm sure my closet would be filled of every new Jordan, every new Nike that I wanted. But
Mhm.
I've been trying to cut back on it. Luckily, I've been blessed enough too by God to put me in the position that I'm now going to be able to move out because of barbering. I'm really
Hey.
excited about that. So with that being said, bro, like, like this thing's dope. Like, and again, you don't want to miss opportunities. You guys never know who's walking around your shop. It could be that someone's gonna walk in and that's your next client for life. That's your next client that's gonna hit you up. Hey, bro, like just wanted to walk in to see if you guys do house calls. That's money that
Mm.
you're missing
Yep.
out on because you decided, you know what, I think I want to go eat a burger right now. And I'm not gonna say I haven't done it because I still do it. Like, there's times where I'm like, man, I'm craving this. I'm gonna go eat. It's kind of slow right now, and then I leave and I come back, and one of the other barbers is taking a walk in, and I'm like, oh, is that
Yep.
your appointment, bro? Nah, bro, it was a walk in. Dang, I missed out on it, right? And
Yeah.
not only do you miss out on that, you never know who you're gonna meet with barbering. A
Mhm.
lot of people don't realize there is celebrities that are gonna come into your shop. There is gonna be, and it could be in the most random areas. Like Bao isn't necessarily known for having all these crazy celebrities walking around, but it could happen. You don't want to say it's never gonna happen because it could
Yeah.
happen, and you don't want to be the reason that you missed out on it is because of the fact that I wanted to go eat. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's that hustler mentality you got to have. But with that being said, with the fact of missing opportunities or having the chance to cut certain people, I know you've been surrounded by different celebrities because of who you know in the industry and everything like that. Right now, if you got the chance to cut any celebrity, any athlete, not saying that it's a necessity to cut celebrities and athletes, but if you had the chance to sit down with someone and just have that conversation while you're cutting their hair, who's that person that you would love to sit down, cut their hair, and just have a dope conversation with right now?
Sure. That's very. I ought to be honest, brother. I'm. There's not really a celebrity that I do really want to cut. Uh, but if I had to choose one, I mean, I love cutting. I love cutting curly, African American hair.
Okay,
So probably Kevin Hart, but he's probably funny.
that'd be
He's
dope.
a funny
Yeah.
guy. More of a comedian, bro. Like I love watching comedy and all that. So I am probably Kevin Hart.
Kevin
I
Hart.
seen he always gets like a high taper, or like he has that curly hair. I like doing those type of cuts. So those that's probably one of my favorite cuts I would like to do. Actually, I actually seen him before because at the school that we teach at MVA, he
Hmm.
actually did come in for a haircut. I didn't do the cutting, but one of our barbers that we were teaching, that we put on set, they actually got to work with him. So as that's what I'm saying. Like, it's one of those cuts that's like, all right, that's cool. I'll do it if the opportunity came up. I'm not
Exactly.
really trying to chase that, but Kevin Hart, that's pretty much like it. I personally feel like, cutting celebrity is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just I don't say desensitized, but that's not really my thing because the school, based on the school that I teach at, we
Hmm.
do work with a lot of celebrities. We've had Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Fuerza Regida. We get a lot of people come through the set, so you see them like more often that it comes like, oh, like they're just normal.
Yeah.
But Kevin Hart is one of those guys that I'll feel comfortable cutting.
Yeah. So to piggyback off of that too, like, a lot of barbers and people that see, I have homies that cut up celebrities, that cut up pretty well known people and everything like that. And it's a dope thing. Again, like Joey said, it's not necessarily that something that a lot of barbers chase per se.
Hmm.
It is something that would be dope to do. It's something that people are, it's a cool experience to do it and everything, but you guys got a lot of people that don't understand the industry or anything like that. Celebrities are people too, like
Yeah.
they're coming in for a cut, they're coming in for a service. So it's not like, even when if you ever do get the chance to cut up a comedian that you really like or a musician, whatever, it's not like you're gonna get to be fanboying or anything like that. You can't be over there like, oh my god, it's Kevin Hart. Like I can't. I'm so excited to cut your
Yeah.
hair because there's a high chance that if you're overly hyped that on who you're cutting, you're gonna mess up that cut
Yeah.
because you're overly hyped on it. Cool, whatever. It's a celebrity in your chair, but they're a person at the end of the day. You want to treat them as that, as a client. And the whole thing is too that something that I learned from being in barber school, being with all of these barbers that I've been around, and something that I pick up from everyone in general that they tell
Mhm.
you regularly: treat all of your clients like they're celebrities. You know, you
Yeah.
want to give a high quality service every single time. You don't want to just be giving it to those people that are paying a little bit more or whatever. You want to be doing it to everybody. You want to
Mhm.
be showing that you're a high quality barber, and that's why you get high quality clients. It's not because, oh, I know so and so, I know Kevin Hart, I know people like Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, I know all these people. It's not because you know those people, it's
Yeah.
because your work is so quality that that comes with it. It's not something
Mhm.
that's going to happen overnight. It's going to be something that you work towards. You're going to
Yeah.
start off maybe cutting their managers, start off cutting the
Yeah.
people that are surrounded by them. Those opportunities will come for
And now
barbers.
I'll go in more into that because the school that we do teach at MBA, we do have a affiliate program, and
Yeah.
that's basically like for those of you that don't know how to get into the game of working on set production, it doesn't always start with giving a most of the. So I'm gonna be real, guys. We're real with you guys. Most of the cuts that you guys see people cut celebrities, it's not always paid. Most of the
Yeah.
time, it's free haircuts, and the reason why is because when you do that free haircut, it's exposure, and
Mhm.
also too, the money comes when you work on set. Now there's things called like day rates. So they call that when you work on set, you charge for the day. You go work. Let's say a celebrity is doing a photo shoot for the day. You go work with them. You'll be there the whole day with them. You're touching up the haircut in between takes. So you'll start to learn how to work. Not just a barber, but actually like a personal care person. You know, like
Yeah.
you're checking their hair, you're checking anything on their face, you're cleaning it up during takes. Hey, this line needs to be a little extra straight. All right, you'll go touch it up. That is more where the money's at because you could charge easily $1,000 per day rate, and
Yeah.
that's money that most barber party, they kind of a lot of people gatekeep it, and the reason why is because they don't want everyone to know about it.
Yeah.
But again, if that's the route you want to go to, it is very. The only thing that is hard about that is that it's very on call. So if you have a
Hmm.
family, you have kids, you're more of that. That might not be your vibe because they'll call you in the middle of the night, be like, "Hey, we have this gig. It's probably like at 2 a.m. We have a photo shoot." Anyone that's in the film and production industry, you guys know how very like the timing is very off. There's not really a set schedule. You're more on call now.
Yeah.
Now there's more money to be made, but you're always on call and working sometimes with the celebrities. Like you gotta get in with their managers first. You gotta get in with the people around them. When you're
Exactly.
cool with them, now that's easily for you to cut the celebrity. So that's how you start to work. You guys want to start working with more celebrities. It's not about not about what you know. It's about who you know. You gotta
Yeah.
start making those connections, networking. Like start making those connections right now.
Yeah. So again, like Joey was saying, it's about those connections that you're building with people, and that comes right back to the whole topic of treat all of your clients well. Make those clients your friends because
Hmm.
you're gonna want to build those relationships. Because again, you never know what they do. You don't know who's sitting in your chair. The person that you're cutting up on every Tuesday could be that they're this major production person that they don't really talk about their work because they're tired of talking about work. But if they see
Yeah.
that your work is consistent every Tuesday, they might hit you up with the opportunity. Hey, bro, I've never told you this, but I'm in production and I would love to have you come on set. What's your day rate? All this stuff like that. But again, like Joey was saying, there is a lot of barbers, a lot of these celebrity barbers that you guys see on social media. You guys may not know a lot of these celebrities that they're cutting them up for free, and that's why they have a booked out schedule because they're showing that they could cut celebrities. It's not just about who they're cutting. Yes, that could bring in great clientele because of the fact that you're cutting these celebrities for free. But if you're in it just for making money, maybe that's not the route to go
Yeah.
because realistically, the thing that's going to make you guys money in this industry is going to be consistency, consistency, consistency.
Yep.
Knowing that you're going to be able to deliver a quality cut every single time, no matter who walks in the door. And that's something that a lot of barbers, including myself, we struggle with at the beginning of our our journey on this barber industry. It's something that's hard to get to. Now, Joey's someone that's been doing a little bit longer than me. I'm sure there is times where maybe he gets nervous, but nowhere near as often as like, man, I've never done this cut before. I don't know if I could do that. It's okay to have those feelings, but you don't want to show those feelings either. I had to learn the hard way that you can't really turn down cuts because you're also turning down money in that way.
Yep.
I originally came from a 9 to 5 working job. I worked as a mechanic. I worked as a beer delivery guy. I worked at AutoZone. All these 9 to 5 jobs where I was used to like, as long as I'm there, I'm getting paid. It's not like that in the hair industry. A lot of people don't know that either. If we're not working, we're not getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people see this as like, oh man, that's so cool. You get to chill at the shop all day. You're making money, all this stuff. We're not making money if we're not cutting. A lot of people don't know that unless you're someone like a shop owner that you have 8 chairs filled out and you're charging booth rent, commission, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
They're making money. The
Yep.
shop's making money, cool. But what are you doing to make that money? So to pretty much end it off today, guys, we're gonna go ahead and just leave it at that. Like to say, you guys want it, then go get it. You guys want to
Yep.
make sure you guys have that hustler mentality. And if you guys have that hustler mentality, then things will work out. God will follow you in your way to go ahead and push you in the right direction. It's all a matter if you choose the right direction too. That's something that a lot of people don't realize either. There's just going to be opportunities that come up. I've had a few opportunities to do different things too, but I chose to go more of the, how do I want, I want to say that I went more of like the hustler route versus the hourly pay route because I got offered to do jobs at hourly pay shops. People that don't know what hourly pay shops are, that's your places like Sports Clips, Great Clips. And these are the places that a lot of barbers frown upon too, that are like kind of like, that's not where the real barbers are at. Those are the people that
Yeah.
they have to follow a procedure on how to cut hair and everything. You don't really necessarily get to be yourself at those type of shops. And it's not to knock on the people that work there because they're making their money too, and they're still barbers at the end of the day. They're still hairstylists, cosmos, whatever it may be that's working there. But I would say if you're a new barber and you're just trying to get your reps in, maybe that could work for you.
Yeah.
But Joey's actually the one that kind of strayed me away from that option too, because you might get comfortable. You never want to be comfortable in this industry because as soon as you get comfortable, it's gonna start plateauing and you're gonna be stuck there and it's gonna feel like work after that. You never want this industry to feel like work, guys. You want it to feel like I am having fun doing this. And it's like Joey said, one of my big goals as a barber and one of Joey's big goals as a barber too, I just love cutting hair, bro. Like I know you love cutting hair too.
Yeah.
Like the end goal for us is to be making money in other ways without barbering, that we get to do this for free almost. Like we get to cut hair because we want to cut hair. We get to do hairstyling because we want to do it. We get to put designs in the head for people because we want to do it. We love what we do because what we do is great. It's an amazing industry to be in. Now, what people don't understand is that this money thing, it comes. Money comes and goes. Money's always going to be there. There's always going to be a way to find money. There's always going to be a way to get that. But don't let money eat you up, guys. Like let this be known from two people that are, I'm working it out more on the side of being a commission barber right now. Joey's working on it as a shop owner himself. It's not about making money all the time. It's about finding ways to enjoy what you do and finding those things that, hey, I'm doing so good at something that I enjoy that now I'm getting paid to do it. And that's a dope feeling to have. A lot of people that want to follow their dreams and everything like that, do it. Like go ahead and reach out for it, try to do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, like just keep grinding it out. It's gonna work out. I promise you. If you work hard at it, it's gonna work out. So with that being said, let's go ahead and end this session now. Is there anything you want to add, Joey, to go ahead and tell the people a little bit more about yourself, about your shop, or anything that's going on?
Just pretty much like anyone, make sure to like tap in with what my brother Angel's doing right now, bro, and everything. Like everything, all the information is there for you guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Again, Joey the Barber on Instagram. That's Joey DA Barber. Our barbershop name is the Fade Lab Barbershop. You guys can find up on Instagram too. But yeah, bro, everyone out there, just stay consistent. If you're a new barber, do not be scared. You do not follow the trend if that's not your thing. Because again, if you try to follow the trend, you try to compare yourself to the next guy next to you, you're gonna get discouraged. There's people that start off very talented, they're gifted. There's people that don't. Just know where you are in your path, and know that if you put God first, and I'm a very big advocate on that. You put God first, He's gonna align everything to you. Now, and again, do what makes you happy. This is an industry that is not easy. It's simple. If you do consistent, you do the good daily habits, you're gonna make money. You have to be very intentional, but it's not easy. This industry is very hard in the sense that you gotta know that you gotta work. You gotta put in the and when you first starting out, you gotta put in work the first couple years. And if you come with that mentality of like entitlement and like, oh, people should come to me, I deserve. You're gonna get a slap in the face with reality that, hey,
Yep.
this industry will show you where you're at, and just be very consistent. Get around good people, have mentorship. That's one of my biggest things that I said. The number one thing that allowed me to open a shop fast, allowed me to open up a shop, was that I had mentorship. Now I use that information, and now it's just duplicating. Now I'm the one sharing it with my barbers. I'm the one sharing it, and I'm blessed by God. He allowed me, to open up my shop, and I give all the glory to him. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Like anything else, feel free to reach out. And yeah,
And again, guys, thank you again for watching. I really hope this blows up because I would love to continue
yep,
interviewing other barbers. Other barbers, if you guys are interested in joining me and going ahead and getting that shout out for your shop, getting that shout out for what you're doing and everything like that, hit me up on Instagram, TikTok, whatever it may be. And with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. And this was the first episode of Beyond the Blade.
see you guys.